guys, welcome to the final episode of my 2022 Pittsburgh Pirates Legend franchise, which I'm calling Season 1, but technically it's the second season. I just never uploaded the first one. This episode is just going to be a recap slash wrap up of the season and maybe some thoughts on the upcoming season. We're going to just go over how the team did and how individual players did, and that's about it. So here we go. Before I forget, let's take a look at the end of the season. So if I look at the GM contract, that was the second year of the 3-year general manager contract. We finished 85 and 77. Tied for second with the St. Louis Cardinals. We were both 5 games back of the wild card. So second year, reached the yearly goal, which was finished over 500, but we haven't reached the overall contract goal of reached the postseason. So GM rating of C. I'm not sure if I don't reach the contract goal, if I lose my job as general manager, or it's based on the actual rating. It says job security good, so I'm not too sure. So that was the end of the year. Big improvement over the 2021 season where we finished 69 and 93 and we're dead last. So big improvement, and hopefully better this year. So this is actually the second time I've recorded this. The first time the audio and video was all corrupted, so we're kind of using a newer save, and it's like the oldest one I have. So we're kind of in the off season. This isn't like right at the end of the season, but nothing big has happened. The only thing that happened was Karl Marte became a free agent, which you can see at the bottom of the transactions, and also Jose Quintana, who was pitching in AAA for us, became a free agent as well. Marte, I'll show you here. We made a. He's at the top. Marte, we made a qualifying offer of 1 year, $19.5 million. That's so if another team does sign him, I think we end up getting their draft picks because we made the offer. So since I've already recorded all this, and this is an old save, he didn't accept the offer and he signed somewhere else, which we'll get to that when I load up the newer save. So no Marte. So let's go through the players. We'll start with pitching. We'll just go in order by overall. Frankie Montas, who we got at the trade deadline this year. Not exactly sure what we traded for him, but I think it was just prospects. He was amazing. 2.74 ERA, WHIP under 1. He was good all year. I think he was just as good after the trade than before the trade, so he was solid all year. So yeah, he was great. 30 years old. Still stats are improving, and we got him for 1 more year. So next is Jared Eichhoff. Eichhoff was also great all year. Not quite as good as Montas, but still very good. He was amazing the first half of the season. He had 4 complete games and 3 shutouts, and those were all in the first half. Contract-wise, I have him for 2 more years. Only 30 years old, so. Next is Kim. Kim was good too. 3.45 ERA, 1.26 WHIP. Not quite as good as last year for us, but he was still pretty good. He actually started as the ace this year, so after the performance last year, so still good. 34 though. Some of the stats are starting to regress, but overall's going up due to the performance. So Maeda, who's in AAA now, but he pitched all year. All year except maybe the last 2 starts when the postseason was looking attainable and he was kind of struggling. We ended up pulling him from the starter role and putting him in the bullpen, and we brought up Perdomo, who we'll get to. But yeah, Maeda was, I don't know, he was off and on all year, which is why he never got sent down. He had good games, then he had a kind of bad game, and it was only towards the end of the season where he really started to struggle, and we pulled him out. So probably not starting for us next year. He'll probably start in AAA. In his place, though, I think I'm going to give Luis Perdomo a shot, who was excellent in AAA all year. And I probably should have brought him up sooner, but as you can see, he struggled last year pretty badly. He got sent down. Did he get sent down? I might have used him all year, and then this season started him in AAA. But at AAA he was like amazing all year, and we brought him up. I think he had two starts, but he pitched in 4 games and 20 innings, 2.25 ERA, WHIP under 1. He was great. So we're gonna give him a go in the upcoming season. 1 more year on this. Oh no, 3 years. 3 years on the contract. So yeah. And contract-wise, still got him for a bit, so 3 years. Maeda, I don't think we looked at his contract, but yeah, final year. He's getting kind of old and regressing and not performing, so probably the final year for him. Jose De Leon, who the Blue Jays offered us at the trade deadline, which was weird because he was injured. I think he had like a fractured arm or something. And I didn't know you were allowed to deal injured players, but they offered him to us and we took it. And when he came off the IL, I put him in AAA, and he kind of struggled, but before the injury, he was doing super good with Toronto. So probably going to start again in AAA this year, but he'll probably be one of the first guys up if somebody gets injured or someone struggles. Mitch Keller did not pitch for us this year. He pitched for us last year. I think he was fairly good in AAA though. Still young, 26. Yeah. Not much to say about him. Martinez. So Martinez was our 5th in the rotation, and he was fine. 3.14 ERA, 1.3 WHIP. He was good. He pitched all year for us, and yeah, he'll probably be the 5th again this year. 2 more years for him on the contract. Brubaker. Oh, so Brubaker was actually our 5th. When we traded for Montes took his spot. So, yeah, he was. I mean, he wasn't awful. Not as good as last year, but he was the worst performing of the starters, which is why he got bumped down to AAA when we got Montes in the trade. So he still got on for 4 years, and he's kind of young. More depth in the minors. Vince Velasquez didn't pitch for us this year. No. I did sign him. I think I extended his contract sometime during the preseason or sometime during the season. I forget when, but he's pitching well in AAA. More depth, lots of depth for pitching. Quinn Priester is, I think, our top pitching prospect, and he was awful in the minors. I remember, I think he started in AAA, really struggled, dropped him to AA. He was even worse. I think I ended up putting back an A-ball near the end of the season, which, yeah, he's an A-ball right now, so. Super young. I might start him in AA this year. I haven't really looked at the lineup, so. But, yeah, that's him. I'll touch on some of the top prospects, but I'm not going to be going over, like, a bunch of them. Malone played an A-ball all year. Mitasek, I think he might have been our #1 pick at the draft this year. I can't remember. We drafted all pitchers, so A potential, super young. He's a long way off, so. Relief pitchers. Richard Rodriguez. Richard Rodriguez is our best reliever. 1.93 ERA, whip under 1, 0.9. He was amazing. He was even more amazing last year. He's just been amazing the whole time I've had the franchise. He's great. He barely gives up runs. I used him a lot. Final year though, final year, and as you can see, the overall is going down. He's regressing. It's not due to performance. I guess it's the age, and yeah. Hopefully we get one more solid year. I don't know if he gives us another year like that, I'm probably just gonna re-sign him no matter what the overall is. But yeah, our best reliever. Smeltzer. I can't remember if we got Smeltzer in the offseason or what. Looks like that. Looks like he didn't pitch at all, and we pulled him out of the free agent pool for the offseason, I guess. He was okay and not the greatest, but he was all right. I think he got used a lot as a long relief, by the AI when I simmed. So he got knocked around a couple times, but he was fine. Thompson I think we used him and he was pretty bad, and I sent him down, or he might have got brought back up due to an injury. Yeah, he wasn't good compared to last season where he was amazing. So that's unfortunate. Still kind of young, but he probably won't be in the majors to start this year. Fletcher was solid. Big improvement over last year. 73 innings pitched, 2.45 ERA, 1.2 WHIP. I think he's our second lefty in the pen, and yeah, he was great. 25 years old. Got him for a while, so it's nice to see. Stratton was awful. Stratton was awful, and I think he pitched most of the season in AAA. He only pitched 21 innings for us. Huge drop off from last year. 32, got him for 2 more years. Nick Birdie I brought up. I can't remember exactly when, but he was doing amazing in AAA. He was only like 66 overall or something when I brought him up. But I brought him up because he was just performing so well, and he was okay. I guess for his stats he did pretty well. I thought he was younger than 29, but I guess not. But yeah, he was okay. They can't all be amazing. Howard, Nicholas. Oh, Petit. So Yusmeiro Petit. Another solid year. Not as amazing as he was last year, but still pretty good. But 66 overall, 38 years old. Like, he's regressing huge. Like, not one stat improvement, even though the performance was pretty good. So final year, and I don't even know if he'll last the whole season with how fast he's regressing, but as long as he performs, he'll be up. So Setterland was pretty good, right? Yeah. So Setterland, I think we brought him up late, maybe trade deadline, maybe a bit later. He was good though. I think he was used in long relief mostly. Yeah. 3.14 ERA, 1.0 WHIP, or 1.08 WHIP. He was good. Another guy with like a low overall but like good performance. So he got up and he still performed well. He's in Double-A now, but I'm pretty sure he'll be starting in the pen. think that might be it for relief. Actually, well, we got closers, so Leclerc. Leclerc was great. 3.09 ERA, 1.24 WHIP. He was great. He was good. That's why we traded for him, and he was still good. Maybe not quite as good as his stats were before the trade, but he was still pretty solid. I don't know if the AI really used him that much when during sims, but and I don't know if I used him that much because a lot of those big innings I would bring in Rodriguez to pitch, so he just had better stats and I just liked using him more. But Leclerc was good. He was solid all year. Final year, final year. And closer, David Bednar. He was also pretty good. Yeah, very good. 2.55 ERA, whip under 1. He did blow a few saves, I remember. 8 blown saves, but I think I blew 2 of those. The rest were all sims from what I can remember, but improvement from last year. He's young, so 26. We got him for quite a while. And he'll be the closer again next year. Alright, let's move on to the position players. Starting with catching, Kurt Dowling. Dowling was the #1 pick in the draft last year, I believe. Our #1 pick and the #1 pick overall. He was amazing when we first brought him up. I think he was hitting like 340. He had like an OPS over 1,000, and I think like from the first like 20-30 games he had hit like 5 of his 6 home runs. So he looked like amazing when he first came up, and he cooled dramatically. But yeah, overall pretty good for what was it, his first like 40 games or something, 50 games, 51 games. Oops. Yeah, so he's basically he's the future catcher of the team, so possibly like future star player of the team as well. So 8 potential. I think he was a 94 potential when I drafted him. 23. Offense is good. The power is not great, but it is like the most improved stat is the power. So feeling's great. Maybe not the greatest arm. He doesn't have really any speed, but he's a catcher. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to really say about him. Darno was our starting catcher this year. This is the first year in a 2-year contract, I think. Yeah, 2 years. So 1 year left. He was okay for the first half, I think, and he definitely dropped off in the second half. Didn't hit very well. He hit quite a few homers though. That's a career high, I think. Yeah, 18 homers. He played a lot of games though. Yeah, almost a career high in games played. By 1, missed by 1. But yeah, fielding was actually pretty good. But yeah, offense was just not there. And he's on. We got him for 1 more year, so he'll be back up this year. Henry Davis. Henry Davis is almost identical to Dowling. He might have been in the same draft. I can't remember. But a potential catcher, 23 years old. Similar stats. Maybe slightly better power. And fielding's not as good, but his arm is better, and he's got a little bit more speed. The difference is he can play first. So if Dowling's doing great and we got a spot open at first base, then he can come up and do that. Or if not, then he's just he'll be in AAA all year, or he'll be a backup when if we need a backup catcher. But not bad having it's not a bad thing having 2 8 potential catchers. Michael Perez was our backup to start the season to Darno. and he was awful. 159 average. Yeah, not much to say. Played 32 games and was bad and got sent down. And well, sent down at the trade deadline, and then Dowling was brought up. So yeah, not much to say about him. Yeah, nothing interesting there. First base, Bobby Bradley was our one of the platoon. One of two in the platoon. We had McBroom against lefties and Bradley against righties. Bradley was okay, I guess. I mean, he hit for power. He hit 25 home runs, but he just didn't hit enough, and he struck out a whole lot. 170 strikeouts. He walked a little bit, but yeah, he just struck out all the time. And I mean, some of these are mine too. Like, I struck out all the time with him. His vision's awful, so it's hard to foul off pitches. Defensively, he's fine, and 42 speed, but he stole a few bases. 10 stolen bases. I remember when I simmed, he'd walk and steal a base, or single and steal a base like all the time. So, well, 10 times, but I noticed when it happened. Yeah. Not much else to say. He hits righties and he can't hit lefties, so still got him for a while. Tsutsugo did not play for us this year. No, he played last year. He wasn't bad. He didn't hit for power really, but I mean, he hit, and he's kind of a utility guy. He's a little slow. Defense is okay though, but I don't know. 2 more years with him, he's probably gonna be in AAA to start. McBroom we picked up as a free agent last year, or yeah, in like the offseason, and he's platooning with Bradley against lefties, and he was fine. He hit a little bit, not a lot of power, but he's kind of like the most forgettable guy on the team, honestly, which isn't a bad thing. He just did his job, but just wasn't great. Didn't shit the bed though, except when I put him in right field. When I put him in right field, he definitely wasn't great. I think he like missed a ball and allowed like a inside the Parker home run one game I played. So he'll be only at first base. Nothing really interesting in the minors for first baseman. Our whole infield's kind of like a mess. Like, it's a bunch of guys playing secondaries, so second base looks terrible, but he's not. This isn't who's playing second base for us, so. But Hoijin Park did play a little bit, and he was awful, so he got sent down, and he got brought back up when the rosters expanded in September, and he was still pretty bad. I think he had one game where he hit like a 3-run home run and a double and had 5 RBIs, and that was basically his whole. That was basically all he added in the after we brought him up. So he'll be back at AAA for the 2023 season. Nothing really interesting there. Third base, Bryan Hayes. He was definitely better than last year. Last year he was awful, which is shocking for an 85 overall 8 potential young player with pretty good stats. I mean, defensively he's like amazing, and he's got speed, and his offensive stats aren't bad, but he performed terribly, and he was better this year though. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have him play every day this year or have him platoon. I'm not sure. Most likely I'll have him play every day. I think. I don't know. I gotta take a look at the lineup. It's a bunch of infielders playing secondary. He can only play third though, so he plays third or he doesn't play basically. Next, no one else at third. So shortstop, Newman. Newman was kind of similar to Hayes, where he wasn't great offensively, slightly better than last year, but also just like an amazingly defensive player, an amazing defensive player. Kind of getting older though, 29. Got him for 2 more years. Most likely he'll platoon with Cruz at short, I would guess. But I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, kind of nothing really interesting. Next is alright, so Bay is a potential prospect in the minors, and he was great in AAA. I think he just batted leadoff for AAA all year and hit around 300. Contact hitter, good defense, good speed. Not a lot of power, but he's young. The power stats can improve. Cruz was basically the exact same as last year. More home runs. I think he might have played way more games though, so I don't know if... Yeah, so similar stats. He was way better the first half though. I think he was like 290 for like the first half of the season and then really fell off. You can see the potential went down. He was an A potential. He's dropped. It says his fielding's gone up, but I don't remember him being 58. But I mean, it's possible. Not really good enough to play shortstop every day, so that's why I'm thinking he might platoon with Newman at short. I know I would rather him just play third and platoon there, but I think I want to give Hayes more at bats this year. But yeah, kind of disappointing. He was high potential player, but not really doing it. So that's Cruz. Nothing really interesting down there. Left fielders, Andrew Vaughn. Andrew Vaughn played left field all season, 140 games, and he won Rookie of the Year. 275 average, 327 on base, hit 15 home runs. He was solid all year. Just like destroys lefties. Still pretty good against righties. Fielding's not terrible, but I don't think he made... Yeah, only 3 errors all year. Yeah, he was good. He was good. 8 potential, 23. Could be future star player of the team. Got him for a while, so that's left field. Center field, Bryan Reynolds. Bryan Reynolds is the best player on the team. Probably even when we had Marte, he was still the best. He hit 308, 370 on base, hit 23 home runs, which kind of a drop from last year, but he hit 40 doubles. But yeah, he was great. He was great all year. Made 1 error all year in center field. 6.8 WAR. Oh yeah, he was great. 3 more years, and he's on a very cheap contract. So he's our star player. So Rafael Ortega. So Ortega, we got the beginning of the season. I think sometime, yeah, in the first like month of this season when our right fielder got hurt, I went into the free agent pool and found Ortega, who destroys righties, and platooned him in right field while Dylan Carlson was injured. So, and he was, I think maybe the first time we played him, for the first little while, he wasn't very great, but second time we had to use him for an injury, he was awesome. 270, 329. Only 8 home runs, but 15 doubles, and I don't know, I felt like every time I simmed or played, he was hitting doubles all day. So for how we got him and how much we're paying him, and he was just great. So solid defensively and has some speed too. So he'll definitely be He'll probably be a bench bat, but he'll be in the he'll be on the main roster. Swaggerty. Swaggerty is our top center field prospect, a potential 24, so he's a bit older. I'm pretty sure he was another guy who was awful in the minors, and maybe awful early and then improved. I can't actually remember. I know he wasn't very good though, but he's young. A potential stats are going up, so possibly we see him. Possibly we use him in a trade. I don't know. Not sure yet. So right field, Dylan Carlson. Dylan Carlson we traded for last year in the offseason, and he played about 2 or 3 weeks and fractured his shin, which is why we got Ortega. And so yeah, he was good when we had him, I remember, especially his first stint in the beginning. I think he was hitting like 290. Switch hitter. We had him batting leadoff. Played 62 games, hit 11 home runs. He came back, I think, mid-season, and then immediately fractured something else. I think he fractured his arm. And then Ortega got put back in, which is why Ortega has 92 games played. Yeah, so I don't know, not much to say. We didn't really see him, but he's young, he's a switch hitter, and he's a potential. So kind of like a noodle arm in the outfield. I know we had Chavis platooning in right field with Ortega, and Chavis has a cannon, and I remember throwing out tons of runners at the plate with him, and then when Carlson came back, I did notice the difference in the throwing arm, but offensively Carlson's way better. So hopefully we get a whole full season out of him this year. Chavis, utility player, filled in at a bunch of different spots. He was kind of similar to last year, but honestly he didn't feel like that, because the big difference here is last year he hit 27 home runs and this year he only hit 10. And he just didn't hit righties at all this year. I think he had a batting average of 190 against righties. A really good batting average against lefties for most of the season, but we don't see very many lefties, and so he wasn't very good. But defensively, he's really good. Just massive arm in right field. I think I threw like 3 or 4 guys at the plate with him in just the games that I played. So I wonder how many. Does it say how many? I guess they don't have those kind of stats. But yeah. I mean, he's a utility guy. Throw him in there when we need an extra guy in there. He's not awful. We got him for 2 more years. Greg Allen, we played early and he was awful. Got sent down, and then I think we brought him back up when the rosters expanded for like a pitch runner and defensive replacement. Yeah, he's not very good. When we load this next save, it's possible he's not even on the 40-man anymore. I forget. I think we need a roster spot. So that's the main roster. Let's jump to my latest save, which is right before spring training, and we can see the couple moves I made. Alright, where do we start here? Off-season acquisitions. We got 2 free agent signings. First one is a relief pitcher, Will Smith, lefty. Last year, 3.4 ERA, 1.67 WHIP. He was pretty solid. He was pretty cheap. Signed him to a 3-year deal. And that is the one pitching acquisition we made, I believe. the one main position player acquisition we made is Eduardo Escobar. So Escobar last year hit 270, but he hit 28 bombs, and we needed just more offense in the infield. I wasn't really worried about defense, but he's solid. He's solid defensively. But yeah, we needed the hitting. He's a switch hitter, hits for power, hits for average. Definitely looks like he's like improving year to year, which is interesting. We signed him. He's kind of old, 34. He was just sitting in free agency for like so long with no offers, and so I offered him like I like lowballed him. I think I offered like 3 or 5 per year, and he wasn't interested in it, but I just assumed he'd accept when no one else offered him anything. But I think like a month or 2 months into free agency, he did get another offer, which he liked way better, and so I kind of panicked, and I tacked on like an extra year onto what I actually wanted to give him for his age, and I think I gave him an extra like 1.5 million a year or 2 million a year. I can't remember the exact figures, but I definitely paid him more than I wanted to, but it's not really a big deal. The budget I was like very conservative with the budget. I kind of like didn't really understand the budget screen at first, but we got 50 million left from how I'm reading it, so available budget 50 million. And so I mean, there is potential for like a big trade sometime during this season of a team that's struggling, that has like a big contract they want to get rid of. I mean, we could scoop someone up, probably someone on the infield or a pitcher if one of our pitchers is struggling. But yeah, Eduardo Escobar, kind of the big offensive position player signing. So he's who's taken over from Marte, who we had for half the season and was amazing. But I think we can see where Marte signed now, which I think was the Phillies. Yeah, so Marte, huge contract. Just take him to what, 35? There was no way I was gonna offer that, and I didn't. I offered him the what did I offer him? I offered him the qualifying offer. Yeah, so I offered him how do I get back there? Yeah, so we offered him a qualifying offer, which he rejected. So I believe we get the draft picks of the Phillies, or they forfeit some draft picks to us. I don't really know how it works, but hopefully we get some kind of draft pick compensation from the Phillies. The other guy we lost was Quintana, who I believe signed with the Padres. Yeah, there he is. Signed with the Padres, 1-year deal. That's kind of too bad. I probably would have paid him that to sit in AAA, but we got pitching depth. It's not a big deal. Okay, the other thing I did was I noticed a couple infielders, like veteran infielders, that were just sitting in free agency the whole offseason. So no offers. They had no offers, so I offered each of them a 1-year deal. So the first guy was Brandon Crawford. I mean, he's 36, but the stats are great. Pretty good last year. Can play a bunch of different positions, and so I offered him a 1.5 million 1-year deal, and he took it. I don't think you can do like minor league deals or anything like that, so I needed the room on the 40 man, so I signed him immediately DFA'd him, and I believe he's cleared waivers, so no one signed him, so I don't think anyone's gonna claim him. I'm not really sure how the waivers work in the off season, but he's down in AAA this year, and I mean, if he plays great, he's up, and someone performs badly, he's up, and the other guy I did that with was Adam Duvall, who's 34, was sitting in free agency all year. Plays a bunch of different positions, great defense, good against righties. He's got reverse splits. He's got a little power against lefties, but contact's bad. 25 home runs last year. I mean, he didn't hit terrible. So another 1 year, $1 million contract. Not on the 40 man, but he'll. I mean, there's a chance with kind of how shaky our infield could be, and he plays all the outfield positions too. So I think that's it for acquisitions. I can take another look here though. Yeah, just a lot of contract renewals. A lot of the contracts just need to be renewed. Not really that interesting, but pitching coach retired. We hired a new one. Our hitting coach was awful, so I fired him and hired this guy. And that was basically all the contract stuff. So yeah, we're right at the beginning of spring training. I think I have the lineup set, but we'll go over that for the episode 1 of season 2. So thanks for watching. See you next season.